This is exactly how I closed 4K deals with 600 followers, and I didn't need to spam cold outreach like a bot, spend thousands of dollars on ads, or even purely rely on referrals. The strategy I'm about to show you is what separates broke influencers from coaches who actually make money with their personal brands, like Nicholas and Tyrone over here. So if you're a coach who hasn't been going crazy viral on social media and you're just struggling to make money off of your audience, don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to scale and you can just copy me. But before I get into the whole system and how you can implement it for yourself, we first need to understand why it even works. The biggest problem I always see with so many coaches' personal brands is that they believe that views equals cash. And I get it, going viral looks good. You get a ton of views, you get a ton of followers. It's almost like a flex. But the problem is that they don't know how to turn that attention into cash. And what a lot of these coaches don't realize yet is that your ideal clients won't drop thousands of dollars on your program after watching you for 30 seconds on Reels. I recently did this content audit for a fitness coach. Bro has 550,000 followers. He gets millions of views a month on his videos. You can look at it right here. 300K, 280K, 480K. The attention he's getting is absolutely insane. And you would imagine he's making 80K a month just purely based on the amount of attention and views he's getting on his page. But my guy was working with 3 clients making maybe 3K a month at a time. So how was I able to get better results than a coach with 100 times more followers than me and like 1,000 times more views than me? So in this video, I'm breaking down everything. What an ideal client profile is, why it's the missing piece in your business to get you to those 10K, 30K, even 50K months, and the exact process on how I figured out everything I needed to know about my ideal client and the strategy I use to make every single video feel like I'm directly talking to that one person who's ready to buy. Something I'm gonna be saying a lot in this video is an ICP. But what even is an ICP? ICP just stands for Ideal Client Profile, and these are your dream clients who you want to have in your program. A lot of the times I'll hop on a call and ask someone if they've taken the time to really understand the ICP, and they say yes. And let's say if I ask a fitness coach, they'll just say people who want to lose weight. Or if I ask a business coach, they'll say entrepreneurs who want to make money. And yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of like an ICP. It's a good start, but it's nowhere near what a true understanding of what your ICP even looks like because it's way too general. A real understanding of your ICP is someone where you completely know their goals. Like where do they want to be in the next few years or even the next 6 months? You need to know their current situation. So if I was a fitness coach, my ICP's current situation would probably be something like living in my mom's basement, playing Fortnite on a Monday afternoon, eating Hot Pockets. Something like that. You need to understand their struggle. So maybe he's struggling with discipline. He's struggling with his diet, sticking with his diet and all that stuff. What are his dreams? He wants to lose 20 pounds in 2 days or something crazy like that. And I would even say that a real understanding of your ICP is knowing the small details like someone's favorite food. And here's something I want you to think about. Your ICP is probably you 5 years ago when you just started out, let's say your fitness journey, e-com journey, or your music journey. Think about when you first got into coaching. What were you struggling with and what did you want the most? Okay, everything I explained about what an ICP is cool and all, but why is it so important and how did it allow me to close 4K deals with 600 followers on Instagram? This might be you right now. A coach making content trying to talk about too many things to too many different groups of people. You could be attracting the Facebook moms, the Fortnite kids, the gym bros over here. But in reality, by talking to everyone, you're actually talking to no one because you want to attract real estate agents. But because your video topics are all over the place, you don't truly understand who you want to target in your videos. You're attracting all these different groups of people, which will lead you to make no money. So let me ask you this. Would you rather have 100,000 followers with people who enjoy watching your content, like the Facebook moms, the gym bros, the Fortnite kids, and maybe some real estate agents in there? They only relate to 2 to 3 of your reels on a deep level, And you know, and they know for sure that they will never buy from you because all they see you as is like some kind of form of entertainment. Or would you rather have 1,000 or 10,000 highly qualified followers who feel like every single one of your videos was made specifically for them? They feel like you understand their deepest, darkest secrets, and they're ready to invest in your program at any time. Now, I think the answer is pretty obvious. Obviously, we're going to go for this 10,000 followers. You want to understand your ICP at such a deep level that every single video feels like a one-on-one conversation with the person you're trying to sell to. And it should be so dialed in that when they watch your content, they think, this person really gets me. How did he know I'm living in my mom's basement, eating Hot Pockets, and playing Clash Royale on Monday afternoon? That is how dialed in you want your ideal audience to be and how deep of an understanding you want to have. When your content only attracts people who are genuinely interested in your service and they become pre-sold on working with you because your content speaks directly to them. The connection being built between you and your audience in your content is exactly what turns views into cash. All right, by now you should completely understand what an ICP is and why it's the missing key to your content. But here's where majority of coaches mess up. They sit down for an hour, they brain dump everything they think they know about their ICP, making assumptions about what their audience wants. And I also briefly mentioned how you should consult your past self, but I only said that to kind of get you thinking about who your ICP is. And it's a great way to get some surface level information, but the problem is you are your only test subject. To make sure your data doesn't only include you, I'm about to go over the exact system I use to actually find out what my ideal clients want and how I built such a strong understanding of the people I'm trying to sell to. The goal here is really simple. You just need to understand exactly what your ideal clients are looking for. And what better way to understand what your ideal clients want and what do they want from you than to ask them directly. So here's exactly how I did it. The first step is to create a lead magnet. And this is something that you know majority of your ideal clients and your audience would benefit from. So if you're a fitness coach, this could be something like a diet plan, a workout split, anything that you know would genuinely benefit majority of your audience. Now the thing is, if you have a big following, I wouldn't say it needs to be overly specific. Just something general that you know would help a lot of the people in your following is fine. But if you're just starting out like how I was, what I did was I took personalized content audits for every single coach that will hop on a call with me. It took a lot of time, it took a lot of effort, but that's just what you have to do to actually get on these calls. Because if you have no online presence, you don't have any content posted, you don't have any testimonials, it's a lot harder to actually convince these people to want to hop on a call with you. So you have to go the extra mile and actually put in the effort, you have to put in the work. Now, the way you're gonna get these coaches on a call is either by outreaching to them with an outreach message, or you could post something on your story where you can say, I'm doing a free content audit for a bunch of coaches, DM me audit and I'll send you the details. Once you are on these calls, you need to make sure you're using the right tools. For example, you can pick any of these 3 note takers: Fathom, Read AI, Fireflies. Me personally, I like Fathom, it's a GOAT. But what these will allow you to do is fully concentrate on what your ideal client is telling you instead of sitting on the side, taking notes, and like it almost feels like it's an interview. So don't do that. Have these things and it will take notes for you on the call. This is easily one of the most important parts of the whole call. You have to ask the right questions. And here are the 3 major questions that I ask on every single call. First thing, what are you struggling with right now and where do you want to be? This gives you their current situation versus their dream situation. Secondly, tell me a short story about yourself. What happened in the past that led you to where you are right now? And what major life events led you to your interest in this topic? This helps you understand their journey and what triggered the need for your solution. And the third question, what is preventing you from accomplishing your goals on your own? This reveals their biggest obstacles and pain points. These are the 3 questions I ask in every single one of these calls, but obviously these aren't the only questions I'm asking. Make sure you ask follow-up questions to get the most detailed answers as possible from these people. And also, don't settle for simple one-line answers or vague answers. get the most specific thing possible. You want to hop on as many of these calls as possible and aim for a minimum of 10. After you've done enough of these calls and gathered enough data, you need to put it all in one place. I like to use a Notion dashboard where I compile all the responses, and I use AI to help me create my ideal client profile based on real data, not assumptions. This is the exact difference between coaches who make money and coaches who don't, is that successful coaches base their entire business on real market research, not guesses. The best part about all of this is that you can actually close deals. One of my first clients I signed back in April was from a free call like this. And it's honestly crazy that 5 months ago, I signed my first client for $500, and now we're closing 4K deals. So this whole process seems like a lot of work, but I promise you this one step will save you months of creating content that doesn't convert and creating offers that nobody even wants. Now you've done all the research, you have all this data about your ideal client. And as stupid as this sounds, a lot of coaches go through all this effort and go back to creating the same generic content they were making before, all because they don't understand how to implement and use this information in their videos. So to avoid you making the same mistake, I've created this simple framework so that every single one of your videos speak directly to those people you've interviewed. The first thing you want to do with all your information is call out the specific struggles in your content. And this is honestly my favorite part about the whole process, because these struggles give me infinite quality content ideas. And every single one of these pain points can be turned into a video. And it's also the best type of content idea because you know for a fact that your ideal client struggles with this. So by making videos about it, you're guaranteed to attract more of your ideal clients who are experiencing these exact same pain points. So let's get into the process. The first thing you want to do is create your struggle inventory, which is basically just listing out all the struggles and pain points. Go through all your transcripts, list out every single pain point that all these people are mentioning. I'm talking about everything like big problems, small annoyances, daily frustrations, weekly challenges. Just create one fat list. The second thing you want to do is turn each struggle into content. What I mean by that is turning these pain points into videos. If you take a look at my page, majority of the videos I post are for pain points I got from my market research. Over here, I got views equals cash. I wrote this hook by accident. Turns out it's a whole proven formula. One of my clients just asked me, how do you write your hooks? And over here, I got my client quit his job at Apple to go all in on music and content. These are all content ideas that I either got from the DMs, market research calls, sales calls, client calls. This is how you come up with infinite content ideas. Now, the third step is the content multiplication effect, which is just a fancy way of saying how you can spin each pain point into multiple video angles. For example, let's say I want to make a video about how to come up with more content ideas. You could take 4 different angles to this. You could have the problem angle, why do coaches struggle with content ideation, the solution angle, my 5-step content ideation process, the mistake angle, 3 content ideation mistakes keeping you stuck, and you could also have the story angle, how it went from no content ideas to 100 plus in one day. Just like that, I've turned one idea into 4 different videos, each with its own unique value as well. So this whole approach turns your market research into a content goldmine that's guaranteed to resonate because it's based on real problems your ideal clients actually have. The second step to this whole process is calling out their current situation. And what this does is it helps the algorithm better target your ideal clients by making your videos more specific and personal. And the way I like to do this is just by making your hooks based on your research. The first thing you want to do is start your videos with the exact demographic. So if your ICP is a fitness coach, you want to call out the fitness coach. Then you want to add the income bracket. So a fitness coach making 10 to 20K per month. And the third step is to include the pain point you're going to be talking about. If you're a fitness coach making 10 to 20K per month, but you're posting content every day and getting 0 leads, this video is for you. Let me give you another example of how this whole formula works. If you're a business coach making decent money, but you're spending 3 hours a day creating content that gets 200 views and 0 DMs, I'm about to show you exactly what's wrong. This is not necessarily what you have to do every single time, where you're using this whole formula as a hook, but I want you to take this, add your own spin, come up with your own ideas. But the main goal you should have is to use this information to paint a picture in your viewers' minds and get them to realize that the person you are describing in your hook is them. I talked about how to use your research in your content ideation, your hooks. Now this is for your interest piece. So you want to address their dreams and their goals. And what this whole thing is for is to get them to paint a picture in their mind and also get them to understand that this video is directly made for them. And it's used to explain why they should listen to you and watch your video. So here's the whole process. The first thing you want to do is identify the end goal from their calls. And it's usually mentioned like when you're asked, where do you want to be in the next 6 months or something? And they'll say, I want to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, something like that. The second step is you want to paint the picture of their ideal day, week, or month. This is where we get really specific. And the third thing you want to do is use emotional language that connects to their deepest desires. For example, you could say, you want to wake up every morning with 5 to 10 qualified leads in your DMs so you can finally stop worrying about where your next client is coming from. The next thing is you want to use the language, and I mean like the exact language. So copy each transcript from your calls and put them into ChatGPT. And you want to ask Chat to like highlight every single phrase your ideal clients use to describe their problems. And after that, you can get it to compile all these phrases and put it into 2 columns, what you normally say and what you think they should say instead. For example, if you normally say that you're struggling to get people in your program, but your ICP says can't sign clients, that's exactly what you want to say. Or if you say ideation, but your ideal clients say coming up with content ideas, that is exactly what you want to say in your content as well. So you want to build a language bank of 20 to 30 of these phrases that you can actually use in your content. And this is exactly how you can call out your ICP and make them feel like you really know them. If there's anything you should take away from this video, it's this one thing. You don't need more views, you don't need more followers, or any of those vanity metrics, because you're a business owner trying to make money and not an influencer trying to be famous. Having a dialed-in ICP gives you something your competitors don't have. The ability to speak directly to your ideal client's specific situation, struggles, and goals in a way that makes them think, how does this person understand everything about me? So while everyone else is chasing viral content and competing for attention, you're building genuine connections with people who are ready to invest. You're attracting thousands of highly qualified followers who are all your ideal clients instead of like 100,000 random Facebook moms, Fortnite kids, or gym bros who will never buy from you. And this was exactly how I was able to close 4K deals with only 600 followers, while that fitness coach with 550,000 followers was stuck making 3K a month with 3 clients. Hyper-specific and targeted content beats views every single time. When you understand your ICP at a deep level and create content that speaks directly to them, you're not just building an audience, you're building a pipeline of pre-sold prospects who are ready to invest thousands of dollars because they feel like you actually understand the deeper struggles and can help them get to where they want to be. So stop chasing views and start building an audience with the right people. That's how you turn a small number into big revenue. So if you got any questions about this whole ICP or you need help implementing the strategy, hit me up on Instagram. The link will be in the description.